We're standing in the upper garden here at Mount Vernon, and this garden started as a fruit and nut garden in George Washington's time in 1763, full of different types of English and French walnuts, peaches, apples, cherries, and apricots. But in 1785, Washington changed his landscape, and in doing so, he wanted to add a pleasure garden. Pleasure garden is somewhere where you would grow flowers not for their use, but for their beauty. But there was a problem. He couldn't dare take away too much space for the production of vegetables, because that was the more necessary parts of gardening. So Washington, in reading gardeners' dictionaries and gardeners' calendars, realized that he could combine beauty with necessity. So he could have a great deal of square footage devoted to vegetables, but the pleasure garden became the border that surrounded the vegetable beds. So Washington chose a 6, 8, or 10-foot border. We're not exactly sure. We've chosen a 10-foot border, and that's where you'll find all sorts of different annuals, perennials, roses, fruit trees, and shrubs. And you can imagine people walking in this garden as sort of a highlight of someone's stroll around the pleasure gardens, walking these wide paths as a group, admiring the flowers and the fragrances that came from the flowers that they were admiring. Also in this garden, in 1787, just 2 years after he created it, he completed his greenhouse. What a special structure that was, second only to the mansion. And how special that was to have semi-tropical plants and citrus trees that could have been brought out during the growing season to the delight of all of his guests. So it's a special garden, all sorts of different things growing. It's a great representation of an 18th century pleasure garden, and we feel extremely pleased that as a visitor today walks these gardens, they're looking at the same garden that George and Martha did 250 years ago.